Okay, Apple has been working on a foldable iPhone for over a decade, and after years of rumors, leaks, and delays, it's finally happening this year. This is the most significant iPhone overhaul in history, and we have more details than ever before. Let's get into all of it. First, what's it called? Rumors point to iPhone Ultra, not iPhone Fold. Apple won't copy Samsung's Galaxy Fold branding, and Ultra is already a naming convention they use for Apple Watch and CarPlay. There'll also be no 18 numbering, unlike the Pro models. It'll be revealed in September, alongside the iPhone 18 Pro and Pro Max. As for sale date, some say September, others as late as December. Mass production was supposed to start in June but got pushed to August, so supply will be tight, possibly short into 2027. Here's where it gets wild. Every other foldable phone is taller than it is wide. Apple flipped the script. The iPhone Ultra uses a book-style, landscape orientation with a 4.3 aspect ratio. Just like an iPad, when closed, it's 5.49 inches. When open, 7.76 inches of OLED display. That's just barely smaller than an iPad mini. Thickness, a jaw-dropping 4.5 millimeters when open. That would make it Apple's thinnest device ever, thinner than even the 13-inch iPad Pro at 5.1 millimeters. Closed, it sits at 9 to 9.5 millimeters. The frame is titanium and aluminum. Titanium on the stress-bearing parts, aluminum elsewhere for heat and weight management. And there's no action button, no MagSafe ring, no SIM slot, eSIM only, just like the iPhone Air. Colors? Apple's keeping it classy, just two options, a silver white and what's described as a deep indigo shade, similar to the iPhone 17 Pro's deep blue. Possibly no true black at all. The crease problem that's plagued every foldable on the market? Apple went after it hard. Reportedly, regardless of cost, they developed a new material property, used ultra-thin glass from lens technology, and advanced optically clear adhesive that stays flexible during bending. The result? A crease depth under 0.15 millimeters and a crease angle under 2.5 degrees. For reference, basically invisible. The hinge uses liquid metal, tougher than titanium, more resistant to bending and deformation. Apple is also hitting quality control issues with the hinge under prolonged heavy use, but it's not expected to delay the launch. No Face ID. The chassis is simply too thin for a true depth system. Instead, you get a Touch ID power button, same as iPads. For cameras, 4 total. An under-display 24-megapixel camera on the inner screen, an industry first at that resolution. A hole-punch front camera on the outer display, and on the back, dual 48-megapixel shooters, wide and ultra-wide. No telephoto. No room for it. Under the hood, Apple's A20 chip on TSMC's 2-nanometer process, up to 15% faster and 30% more efficient than A19. RAM is 12 gigabytes. Apple is also using WMCM packaging. RAM is directly integrated onto the chip's wafer alongside the CPU, GPU, and neural engine, which means faster performance and better thermal management. And yes, vapor chamber cooling inside a phone this thin. Wild. Battery? Between 5,400 and 5,800 milliamp hours, the largest ever in an iPhone. The iPhone 17 Pro Max sits at 5,088 milliamp hours for comparison. The C2 modem debuts here, Apple's second-gen in-house chip, on par with Qualcomm, and it finally supports millimeter wave 5G. It also brings a limit-precise location feature, so carriers can only see your neighborhood, not your address, plus potential full satellite internet access via NR-NTN, with third-party apps, Apple Maps, and Photos able to work over satellite. iOS gets iPhone Fold-specific updates, split-screen multitasking for the first time on iPhone, sidebar navigation like iPadOS, and new APIs for developers to adapt their apps. Apple reportedly used a modular internal design, putting the motherboard on the right side and routing cables upward instead of across the display. Leakers are calling it the most repairable foldable on the market. Okay, the number everyone's been waiting for. Starting price? Around $2,300 for 256 gigabytes, $2,610 for 512 gigabytes, and $2,900 for 1 terabyte. Analysts range from $1,800 to $2,500, so expect it to land somewhere in that zone. Either way, the most expensive iPhone ever made. And that's literally everything we know about the iPhone Ultra, the foldable iPhone that Apple spent over a decade building. A crease-free book-style display, the thinnest iPhone ever, a brand new chip, the biggest battery Apple's ever put in an iPhone, and a price tag to match all of it. The next-gen model is already confirmed in 2027, which happens to be the iPhone's 20th anniversary. So this is just the beginning of a whole new era. If you want every update the moment it drops, subscribe right now. We don't miss a single leak. And comment below, is the iPhone Ultra worth $2,300 to you? I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.